And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for. Da 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 the review of the Lazytown TV show! Yay!
Finally, you get to see me!
What do you mean? We've been seeing you throughout this whole story arc.
I mean, I'm in the TV show. I'm pals with Robbie Rotten.
Odile, of all the female characters I have seen in this franchise, your name has not come up even once.
Well, when you review this television show, you'll realize how wrong you are.
All right then, let's begin.
According to actor Stefan Karl, the guy who plays Robbie Rotten, it took Magnus Skeving 7 years before selling Lazytown to Nickelodeon due to American television being unkind to foreign franchises. However, selling the show wasn't the only difficult process. Apparently, it took everyone 3 tries to get the show the way it is now. Based on what I have found, the show, or at least the ads featuring the characters, was all puppets at one point that resembled the characters from the second play. After that, they took the Sesame Street approach and made it half live actors and half puppets, which is how the pilot came out.
Wait. Do you mean pilot like the first episode, or pilot like the pitch to the network?
The pitch.
You're telling me that you actually found the pitch pilot?
Yes, it's on the YouTube page of the very first TV Stephanie, Shelby Young.
The things that made the pilot episode different from what actually debuted included these 4 things. First of all, the child puppets actually sounded like kids in this version. Second of all, Magnus's Icelandic accent was dubbed over by an American actor. Third, the puppets themselves were different. And finally, this was the last time that Ziggy's love of caramels was referenced in the franchise. Also, the lyrics to Bing Bang are a little different from the version you hear on the show.
Bing bang, digga-rigga-dong, I say those words before I go to sleep.
This is all very sweet, but can we get to the actual show? Preferably to see if, I don't know, I'm in it.
Very well, though I highly doubt that you are.
The series officially debuted in the US of A on August 15, 2004. In the TV show, Stephanie, now played by Juliana Rose Moriello, goes from being a local resident of Lazytown to a newcomer to the town who is also the mayor's niece. Even though Stephanie is only supposed to be here for a short time, she still seeks to improve the lives of her new friends, consisting of the sweet-toothed Ziggy, who goes from being obsessed with Superman to being obsessed with Sportacus.
Define obsessed.
To haunt or excessively preoccupy the mind of course.
Oi.
Anyway, other friends include Tech Guy Pixel, who's now the token black character in his 4th redesign since the books, Trixie, who's changed her hair and clothes since the play, and last but not least Stingy, who hasn't changed a bit.
Mine, 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 mine!
At the suggestion of her uncle, Stephanie calls upon the slightly above average hero Sporticus to help out her cause. Now, Sporticus has gone from being an athletic elf from a neighboring elf village to a globe-trotting hero from an island in the North Sea. Though in the Icelandic dub of the show, he's still an elf. But for every hero, there's always a villain out to challenge them. The villain in this case is Robbie Rotten, who's thankfully much tamer than he was in the stage play. Robbie's goal in this show is to get Lazytown to live up to its name and maintain their unhealthy habits. But unlike Sporticus, Robbie is unable to properly practice what he preaches due to the fact that his schemes and disguises take a lot of time and energy to accomplish, even if they are unsuccessful, which they always are. This show lasted for 2 seasons before moving on to a different series.
What series was that?
A United Kingdom-based show that aired on the kids' channel CBeebies, known as Lazytown Extra.
Did it have a 1920s paperboy shouting, "Extra, extra, read all about it"?
No, but they did start doing something that I've seen a lot of kids shows do in the past. Have the characters go out into the real world and interact with real people for a video field trip.
Don't get me wrong, we still see segments that take place in Lazytown, but a good chunk of it takes place right here in the real world. Unlike the previous series, Lazytown Extra focused more on health, fitness, and the history of both than it did the fun stories, which may explain why it only lasted 1 season.
But the wonder of wonder and miracle of miracles happened in the year 2013. That year, the True Blue Lazytown series was revived.
We're back!
Hooray!
The final 2 seasons of Lazytown revealed significant upgrades for the series. First of all, the airship's version of HAL 9000 that was introduced in Lazytown Extra is now a regular character on the show. The kid characters have also shown much growth and improvement since the previous series. Stephanie is now played by Chloe Lang and is officially Sporticus's number 2. And Robbie Rotten taught us how to be villains.
You messed up that last part, Filmmaker.
What do you mean?
Robbie Rotten didn't teach us how to be villains. He taught us how to be villains number 1!
Oh, how could I forget?
The 4th season featured an episode called Robbie's Dream Team. In this episode, Robbie Rotten gets some look-alike henchmen who are actually 3 actors that are presumably between jobs. Since they obviously have no previous experience in villainy, Robbie teaches them all to be bad guys in the form of this musical number. Now, the reason this is significant is because 2 years after the show came to an end, Robbie Rotten's actor Stefan Karl came to discover that he had pancreatic cancer.
The same cancer that killed Alan Rickman?
Don't remind me. Anyway, as a result of this, a guy named Mark Valenti set up a GoFundMe page, and both Juliana Rose Mariello and Chloe Lang promoted it in order to persuade the public to donate money to help Stefan get well again.
But that is not all. Oh no, that is not all.
The GoFundMe page was further endorsed by users like you in the form of the meme known as We Are Number One, in which internet users paid homage to Stefan by remixing the musical number taken from the aforementioned episode. The users, and particularly the ones on YouTube, would attach a link to the GoFundMe page in the video description, causing the GoFundMe page to be a complete success. And as a thank you to the users, Stefan Karl himself used Facebook Live and introduced us to the composer of Lazytown's music, Mauni Savarsen, as well as Bjorn Thors, Snorro Ingelbertsen, and Berger Thor Ingolfsson, the actors who played the minions. Not those minions. In order to perform, we are number one for a live audience of Facebook users.
Please tell me that's not where the story ends.
Actually, that isn't where it ends.
As it turns out, Magnus has passed down the Sporticus torch to another Icelandic gymnast and stunt double, Diri Kristjansson. And according to LinkedIn.com, the company of Lazytown Entertainment that's in charge of everything Lazytown related is now property of Turner Broadcasting. Yet despite this, Magnus is still in charge according to LinkedIn, but not according to Wikipedia.
Is there any more?
Ugh. Face it, Odile, you are not a legitimate character. I have searched every inch of this franchise and you do not exist in their universe.
What about all those other stage shows that you sometimes find on YouTube?
Those stage shows were based on the TV series, and no, you aren't in them either. I don't know who told you that you were a part of this, but they must be so full of feces that they'd make Mr. Hanky blush.
Well now, I have proof that I'm right and you're wrong at my home in an obscure location. I'll get it up there and I'll bring it back here and then we'll see who's blushing.
So let it be written, so let it be done. In the meantime, you guys can click on the link in the description below and donate to Stefan Karl's GoFundMe page. He needs our help now more than ever. I'll see you next time on video, and remember, we are number one.
Now listen closely. Here's a little lesson in trickery. This is going down in history. If you wanna be a villain number one, you have to chase a superhero on the run. Go, go, go. Just follow my moves and sneak